This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. CNN's Jake Tapper said Chris Cuomo blew up CNN after Zucker refused contract payout. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. CNN's Jake Tapper reportedly accused his network's corporate parent of throwing Jeff Zucker under the bus after the ousted news honcho refused to capitulate to Chris Cuomo's demand for a multi-million-dollar payout. Yeah, they can't afford it. So, because they're not making any money. And boy, here was a good way to save that money, just drop the guy, But anyway, hours after Zucker's resignation, Tapper asked Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar, not Killer, but anyway, at a tense meeting inside CNN's Washington Bureau about the perception that Zucker's refusal to pay Cuomo the remaining $18 million on his contract ultimately led him to losing his job.
Jason, if you could address the perception that Chris Cuomo gets fired by CNN, Chris Cuomo hires a high-powered lawyer who has a scorched earth policy, who then makes it very clear to the world that unless Jeff gives Chris Cuomo his money, they're going to blow the place up.
Tapper asked Keeler.
Stuff starts getting leaked to gossip websites about Jeff and Allison, and then weeks later Jeff comes forward, discloses this, and resigns, not willingly. An outside observer might say, wow, it looks like Chris Cuomo succeeded. He threatened. Jeff said, we don't negotiate with terrorists, and he blew the place up. How do we get past that perception that this is the bad guy winning?
So Kilar told Tapper in response, when it comes to perception, all I can offer you, Jake, is every minute of every day we've got what's on the screens of CNN. I believe that's what's going to define us going forward. Far more than what's happened today and what you alluded to. In other words, do your job instead of being a leftist propaganda machine, which has completely and utterly destroyed the network. And that's all Jeff Zucker. And you bet on that horse, and now it's over. Got a merger coming, and they've made noises they want CNN to once again be a hard news network. Well, you can't do what you've been doing and call yourself hard news now. And so why you are clinging to Zucker, I don't know. Any idea? Oh, you're just now discovering Chris Cuomo is a piece of shit. But so is Jeff Zucker. So the bad guy won. Well, is it really? When they're both bad guys? Bad guy versus bad guy? No one cares. Except an idiot like you. Yeah. So anyway, Zucker resigned from his post as CNN president after acknowledging a years-long consensual relationship with Allison Golust. The network's executive vice president and chief marketing officer. In announcing his resignation to staff, Zucker admitted that he failed to disclose the relationship. Well, he didn't need to. Everyone knew. Just ask Katie Couric. She knew. Zucker's bosses at Warner Media became aware of the relationship during an investigation into Cuomo's tenure at the network. Well, the scandal grew as it learned that Zucker and Golust made personal calls to then New York Governor Andrew Cuomo in 2020 in a bid to lure the chief executive to make more flattering appearances on his brother Chris Cuomo's show, and even coached him on his COVID briefings. Yeah, that was right in front of everybody, including you, Jake Tapper, and didn't have a problem. Didn't have a problem with that, huh? No. Nevertheless, senior CNN talent at its Washington, D.C. bureau, because, I don't know, they don't have a TV. They actually watch the network to see what's going on in New York. No, I guess not. Anyway, expressed fierce loyalty to Zucker during the meeting with Kilar, with some even suggesting that the historically tense relationship between the two men played a role in the CNN president's ouster. What, tense between Zucker and Kilar? Well, I guess so. The network's in the toilet, and Zucker can't deliver. So, yeah, that has much more to do with his being gone than his gal pal, So anyway, Cuomo was fired by Zucker late last year after it was learned that he helped his brother fight back against allegations that Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed an aide. Yeah, it went to court and everything was dropped. It didn't really have anything to do with that. No, none of this does. And still, nobody seems to be concerned about all the elderly killed in the COVID-infested nursing homes that Cuomo forced them into. No? Okay. So, since his dismissal, the former Cuomo primetime host has hired a high-powered attorney, Brian Friedman, in an effort to force CNN to pay him $18 million in salary that he was slated to earn on the remainder of his contract. Well, he didn't earn it, you know? But isn't that nice? Those deals they get. What happens to you when you get fired? Does the company still have to pay you for the rest of the year? Anyway, Zucker refused Cuomo's demand for the payout because of revelations that he helped his brother cast the network in a negative light. Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway, Cuomo's lawyers then decided to go over his head and appeal to executives at Warner Media's parent company, AT&T. Well, I bet you they love that. No wonder they're dumping this on Discovery, you know. Cuomo's lawyers argued AT&T was involved in selective enforcement. Oh, boy. Zucker, who violated company policy by dating a colleague without discussing it, because he didn't need to, everyone knew it. You know, they're being all flirty and crap, and him demanding people put her to work, and whatever. Was able to hold on to his cushy job. But Cuomo had gotten the boot. Well, because it was right in front of everybody, not just colleagues and all that, but right there on the network of him just, going to bat for his bro. Anyway, for helping his brother navigate sexual harassment claims, given those circumstances, Cuomo's lawyers argued AT&T should pay Cuomo the full $18 million he was demanding because Jeff Zucker was, had a girlfriend. Well, yeah, there's no one to root for here, really. Okay. The heads are rolling already. The ship is sinking. It hit an iceberg a long time ago, and Discovery's coming in to take over, already having made noises about it becoming a hard news network, which it isn't. It isn't. It's just leftist propaganda nonsense, and it's in the toilet. Everybody knows this. They stopped watching it. You've got to get viewers. The problem for Discovery, of course, is that they're going to have to gut this whole thing. That means people like Tapper got to go, too, because he's an obvious fraud. He once had a reputation. You have one until you don't, and he doesn't anymore. He can put on an act like, oh, my God, they're manipulating the numbers on a certain health event. Oh, my God, that happened? Yeah, like you just found that out. Come on, And then all this BS he's, spinning around. Warner Media executive. Yeah, it's over, idiot. And they need to gut the whole thing and probably rename it because the CNN name doesn't mean anything other than crap. The crappy news network. And probably, I don't know, call it Discovery News or something like that because it stinks and nobody likes it anymore. So, really tough sell. And you are in business. You are. You chased your audience away, and these are the consequences. So long, Jake Crapper.
This is CNN. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.